Hey guys, this is Jill. Thanks for joining me today. I got some things to show you, and probably one of the biggest things that I'm adjusting to right now is the fact that I live in a bus now. So I want you guys to come on in with me. I'm going to show you around and talk to you about it, and if you've got questions, let me know. I know that many of you are here because you're part of my watercolor community, and some of you might have kind of come into this landscape here just because you heard about it and want to find out more about the bus, and that is totally fine. I'm so glad you're here. I'll be sharing more about what I'm doing in other arenas other than just my watercolor group. But if you're here today and you're interested in watercolor, that's super exciting. If you're here today and you're not really a painter, that's okay too. So anyway, let's get started, and I'm going to go ahead and show you around. So I'm currently parked right now out at my parents' property, and they've let us kind of come out here for a little bit. We're kind of in transition, and you know, this is, you know, live, and everything is supposed to be perfect when you go live, right? But I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna show you something. See all of that garbage over there and all of that garbage over there. So we're still sorting and organizing and all that good stuff because we kind of hit the road pretty fast and still didn't really get everything dialed in at the last minute. We just shoved it all in there, and so we're still in the process of getting that taken care of. So I'll tell you about our trip, tell you about our shakedown cruise and how it went, but let's go ahead and jump into taking a look at the bus and let you guys see what's going on. So we'll get turned around here. I'm going to flip the camera around so we can just kind of walk in there, and I will give you guys a tour. All right, so here is our bus. This bus is a 2011 Eldorado Areotech 220, and it sits on a Ford E350 chassis, and I could tell you a lot more details, but I know that it's got like a 5-point-something liter engine, V8, it's a gasoline engine, all that good stuff. So for all of those who are out there interested in the make and model of the vehicle, that's what we've got. We do have a roof rack up on top that we installed and got our kayaks up there, and everything about this build is 100% custom. We've done all the work ourselves, so let's just go ahead and jump in here. I've got, you know, custom millwork everywhere, and when you come in, we've got hardwood floors in here. We really wanted to make it as homey as possible and just make it feel really comfortable because this really is where we live now. So I'm going to step in the bus, and then I'm actually just going to wheel around so I can close the doors here. I don't want all of this precious cold air escaping. If you've camped or anything, you already know what that's like. So let me kind of turn around here, small quarters, but here's the cab of the truck, you know, the cab of the vehicle, and as you can see, there's just one seat here for the driver, just, you know, with the fold away doors for passengers to get in, because this was a shuttle bus, obviously 15 passenger shuttle bus. But I do have a place to sit, and I'll show that to you in just a little bit. So Jay drives mostly because I can't actually reach the pedals in this chair until we get that kind of worked out. But in the front compartment of the bus, we have, this was all like overhead compartment where it was really just some empty space, but we've used it to put some custom cabinetry in here, and this is where we store and keep all of our solar equipment. And if you've seen some other bus builds or van builds, a lot of times the solar equipment is like under the bus or under a chair or under a booth, and really hard to get to and that type of thing. So Jay's 6'2", and we decided, and you know, we needed to get this up where we could put it so we had where he could get to everything. So we've got lots of nice room in here for all of the electrical, and so that's our battery bank and some other electrical thingies that I kind of understand. Jay's the one who takes care of all that. And we've also got an inverter over here, as well as all of the wiring for the vehicle itself that was native to the vehicle. So all of that's in there. That's Jay's domain, and I really kind of worked mostly on all the carpentry with my dad, and he really has been instrumental in helping us with our cabinetry and all of that good stuff. So anyway, so let's kind of twirl around here. When you first come in, after seeing the captain's chair there, we have a shower in our bus, and I'm trying to get positioned just so the glare is not so bad, but we did opt for a glass door, and I guess that's kind of bougie for, you know, to have it in a bus, but some of these big RVs, you know, they all have glass doors and all that good stuff. But you know, we do attach a little strap here when we're driving to keep the door stabilized, but it opens up, and we've got this wonderful little shower with a custom floor that I made for it that does come in and out so that you can clean the regular bottom of the shower, and tile. And we just got, you know, standard, you know, household type fixtures for the you know, for the water throughout. But the shower is really nice. Had a nice hot shower in there this morning. We've not been having hot showers in there. I'll tell you about that in a minute, but we are now. We've got hot water now. And right over here after the shower is our little booth area where we sit here to eat, and this is also my art table. And so I love this table. I love everything about this table. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm so proud of it. It is real cherry. My father is a woodworker, and he built this tabletop for us. And he harvested the cherry. He milled it and actually you know, created the tabletop for us. And then we got fancy with some attachments and hardware and different things, you know, to get it mounted to the bus so we could use it. And it does have a leaf that you can raise up here, and there are little struts that you can pull out, you know, up underneath the table. I'm not going to bother with that at the moment with just one hand, but it does make a you know, a much bigger table. So when I'm working, or if we have somebody over for dinner, you know, we got more table room. And in addition to the table expanding, the chairs will expand too. There's little pull-out handles on each of the little chairs, and you can kind of grab that handle, pull that out, and it'll extend the chairs. So we do have windows here. The sun is just blasting in on this side of the bus, so I'm just letting those stay closed right now. But we do have this little fixture over the table that I love. I found that, and we added that. It's actually a household fixture, but Jay converted it to 12 volt so that we could, you know, hang it up in the bus. But I really do like it, and everything is custom. You know, we've got a little furnace here. Everything is propane for all of our heat and everything. So that's a little propane furnace that we installed. And you know, part of the customization, I've got a little bit of a step at my chair because my legs are short, and it also, there is a wheel well right there for the bus, so it worked out perfect to kind of step up right there, and now my feet can touch the floor without my legs going to sleep. It's fantastic. And this is actually where I sit when we're driving. So let me just show you right quick what's going on with this. I do have a seat belt in here. When you move the cushions out of the way, both chairs do have storage inside, and I've got a seat belt in this particular chair. So the seat belt is actually connected down below the chair where one of the original shuttle bus seats actually was fastened at one time. So that's how that works. And then back here is the bedroom area. We do have a queen size bed in here, which is fantastic. That's a little bit bigger than most people have in their bus, but with Jay being so tall, I figured we really needed to do that. And we have some overhead storage, and actually I can tell that the AC just kicked on like really, really loud. So just for the sake of the video, I'm going to I love you, AC, but I'm going to let you just be quiet for just a minute. I'm going to turn that off for just a second, just so that I can hear a little bit better. I'm trying to turn it off. I'm getting used to using all these remotes. There we go. All right, so in the bed area, I've got this little I don't know, it's sort of a craftsman style little thing that I did on the wall, but it was super fun, made me think of my old stained glass days, and just gave a little visual interest back there. But we do have a cabinet overhead, and each of these little compartments opens up for storage, and all of the doors throughout the bus have got a little soft close. We really tried to make it as homey as possible because we are going to live here for a while, and got that great, back window that you can open up that and let the breeze come in if you want to. And at the foot of our bed, we've got a little closet with little sliding bypass doors. And so, you can open these. They're attached by magnets. And so, you got all your bits and bobs, whatever you need in there. And down below the shelf here, you can actually lift this shelf out. There's a little hole, and there's some deep storage underneath for like seasonal items. And I can't get to the other door right here without climbing up on the bed, but there's some clothes packed away in there, and that works out pretty well. And so over here we got the countertops that starts, and just the whole kitchen area. And we were kind of joking, before we moved into the bus, that we've actually got more counter space in the bus than we did in that little rental house that we were in for a couple of years after we sold our big house. But we've really been enjoying this so far, and we went with the birch countertop in here, and I just sealed it just with a natural color. And my dad built all this cabinetry for us, and I worked with him, but he was kind of the mastermind, and I did give it this turquoise distressed finish. But super fun to see this all together and to actually be using it. And it's just like a standard kitchen. All your stuff is in here, and learning how to live in a smaller space has been challenging, but we're getting better at it. And here's the sink, and we do have, we've got running water. It's fantastic. Even got a little tap here for just some drinking water, and we do have hot water. Got a little range here, and gas range, and it's got a cute little oven space inside. It's really neat. And we've even got a fridge in here. It's kind of small, but it's just the two of us, and it holds all the major necessities. But anyway, here's everything that we've got. I'm really enjoying all the windows. It makes painting so fun because there's just natural light everywhere, and just try to stay minimalistic with the curtains and all that kind of stuff. I even used like leather straps and mop handles actually for the curtain rods and the holders. And I bought some blackout curtains just off of Amazon, and it's got the little thermal reflective stuff on the back, and they do help with the heat, but they were just regular house curtains, and I just cut them to fit and just hemmed them, that kind of a thing. But this is our little house. We've got a cedar ceiling and little puck lights throughout. We've got an exhaust fan, and yeah, I just realized there's actually pieces of mail stuck up in here at the moment. We did a thing we shouldn't have done when we cut this piece of trim, and we cut it too short. I won't get into all the details, but sticking pieces of mail up there helps the air flow. So we're working on that. We'll get that fixed. But the cedar ceiling was definitely a challenge, but oh my gosh, I'm just so happy with it. I go to bed looking at it every night. I wake up seeing it every morning, and it was worth every painful, pinched finger and all that stuff trying to get this stuff installed. My dad and I installed this together, and it was fantastic. I'm very glad to have had an opportunity to get to do so much work with him, and it just really makes it special. I can't imagine ever parting with the bus. It's really become just, it's really becoming our home, and it really feels like home. So let me look, and I didn't mention this, but the art cabinet. Okay, so right here is my art cabinet. So underneath the bed, right here in the front, I've got double doors that open up, and I've got a really deep cabinet here that's 2 shelves. It goes back about 13, 14 inches, I think. And so all of my art supplies, I've had to really just, condense, pick out exactly what I want to take with me. But, all of my art boards are in here, different, books and different things. And then these baskets each contain, all kinds of, all of my watercolor stuff is in here. I've kind of got a watercolor, watercolor basket, and then this is dry media basket. So I've got pencils and pastels and all that kind of stuff in there. So I've got it organized to where I can just pull out a box and then, of course, strew it all across my table to do my work. But it really does work out. It's been working out really well so far. I even had one of my first sessions live with my paid members, and we painted, and I painted right here on the table, and it worked out great. So let me set this down. I'm kind of moving all over the place, so sorry if I'm making anybody car sick here. Let me flip it around so that I can see you. And I'm also going to look back and see, I know that some things folks have been posting, and I've kind of been looking and watching, but let me go back and make sure if I've got any questions that I need to answer. So first of all, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Donna. Thank you. I'm excited too. It's been fantastic. And Joan from Ontario, welcome. So glad you're here. Darlene, hey, good to see you here. Let's see. Looking for any questions. The shower is gorgeous. Carolyn Ullman says that. Thank you so much, Carolyn. We're very proud of the shower. It's been so nice to have a shower wherever you go. Let's see. Ellen says that she loves the woods and the cabinets, the tile. Yeah, so Ellen has a question here. She says, oh, I'm trying to get this to, oh no, it's not opening up for me. Well, for some reason it's not opening up, but I get the first part of your question. I'm wondering how the togetherness is in this small space. Well, I tell you something, Jane and I have been together for, 30 years, and I think I am going to have to turn the air back on, though. Hold on just a second. I'm going to get that going, and then you can see I'm already starting to sweat. We've been together for 30 years, and we really are best friends, but putting this bus together, we've actually built a house together, and putting the bus together was definitely a challenge on many levels, but it honestly, I don't know how every couple does with it, but we've definitely had our conflicts and conflagrations and, all that kind of stuff, lots of arguing, but we always make up, and I think it's really, we're looking forward to what the future has for us here in the bus, because we've definitely got some plans for how we want to live in the bus and what we want to do with it and what our lives are going to look like. And so it has been worth, kind of all of that trial by fire to, to get the bus together. But things are, it has been really good. It has been good, though. Let me look, see if I've got another. Tanya says it's gorgeous. Thank you, Tanya. I appreciate it. Lynn says that the work is amazing. Wishing you great adventures. Thank you so much. And Donna asks a great question. Donna says, where is your paper and finished art? Okay, fantastic question. So all of my paper that I get, I'm still buying, my large sheets of Arches paper, but I'm having to pretty much immediately cut everything down. So all of my paper, I have it cut down to like, a quarter size is the largest sheet that I have. And I just keep them in a stack in a little container back there in my art cabinet. And so that keeps everything kind of, it keeps it all together. So don't have any big pieces. Now, as far as finished work, because, I still, as a professional artist, one of my big objectives is still to continue selling my work. I have different storage boxes in different sizes that are kind of small, and are meant to hold smaller pieces. So I've got like 3 storage boxes in different places Underneath the bed is a large storage area, garage storage area back there, where I've got one of my boxes, and two of the boxes are actually in my art cabinet. And there's several things up under the bed. I didn't really get into all that, just for the sake of technical types of things. We do have a 75-gallon water tank back there. We've got a hot water heater back there, and what else is back there? Just a lot of our electrical lines that run, but those, our water storage and our hot water heater are the main things that are back there. And then just we use that for deep storage and camping gear and all that kind of stuff. So we got a good bit of storage back there. Let's see. Joan is asking, has condensed space moved you to being more paperless in terms of art books, notes, reference photos? Yes, and let me share something with you about that specifically. That's something that we had been thinking about for a while, knowing that we were going to be, transitioning to such a small space. And, for those of you who have been following me for a while, you know that we started this, just this whole downsizing effort started back in 2019. Okay, so we were knowing that our boys were getting a little bit older. They were going to be moving out, probably within a year. This was back in 2019, and so we were ready to actually sell the big house that we had been in for 18 years. And so with that, we've been on this journey of downsizing and that type of thing for a while. And so moving to paperless and buying our books on Kindle and making smaller pieces of work, that type of thing, that's kind of been in the forefront for a few years now. So the transition to the bus, has been actually even smaller. There were sort of this small collection of books that I wanted to bring with me, and it was still too big to bring. And so I thought, we're just having to kind of condense a little bit more. So it's kind of painful sometimes to get rid of some of the things, that you thought you were going to hold on to. But in the end, I know that it's definitely going to be worth it to make sure that you have a peaceful environment to live in that's not over cluttered and all that kind of stuff. I know I had some more questions coming. Let me get back up here. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I think that might have been all the questions. I'm surprised that nobody has asked, where do we go to the bathroom? So we do have a portable toilet, okay, that we use. We've opted for not using like a black tank, that we would flush into. That's just not our thing. And even when we go camping, we're more, primitive campers, and we do the Boy Scout style of just, going out in the woods and you dig a latrine, So while we're in the bus, if we're in urban areas, or if we're, kind of like here where we're, using somebody else's property for a little while to stay, we do have a portable toilet that we use, and then we just kind of, we manage our waste and dispose of it, properly, that type of thing. But when we're boondocking, when we do go out west and we're out on public lands, for a couple of weeks at a time, it's going to be old school. We're just going to go out in the woods or out away from the bus, dig a hole, just like the Boy Scouts. So for us, it's just easier to do that than to figure out ways to, manage all the sanitation. And, when you have to start managing your waste, you realize what an enormous chore it is, and an important chore, because, you definitely got to, keep things sanitary and all that kind of stuff. Nobody needs to get sick. So let's see, make sure I didn't have another question from anybody. So somebody just asked, where are you going? Where's your next destination? Okay, so when our next destination, the short story or the short answer is Montana and Idaho. Those are the two areas that we're wanting to go to next. However, it's going to be a little bit of time before we can actually head out. We made our shakedown cruise down to Florida just recently to really kind of test the bus out, and we were so pleased that, you know, everything just functioned properly. The bus, you know, mechanically it was fantastic. We did have a couple of snafus with our water leaking a couple of times and our gas leaking a couple of times, which caused us to lose our ability to have hot water, and that was not fun, and you know, all that kind of stuff. But we've gotten those things resolved, and so, you know, all of our systems are functioning great. So the only delay that we have right now is our timeline just took us too long to get done with the bus. We really thought that we would be done in January of this year, and here we are, not even really hitting the road for the first time until May. So that has really shifted our schedule, just like literally, but also financially. We had a lot of extra rent and expenses that we had not anticipated, and so we're just kind of getting caught back up on our little travel fund, you know, so to speak. And so we're going to stay in the area this summer and continue working. My husband's going to continue working at his physical location job that he has that's in the metro area, you know, near Atlanta. We're going to keep doing that and just build up our, you know, build back up our financial fund, you know, that we had to launch out onto the road. Now, we will both be working remotely, you know, when we're traveling, so it's not like we're trust fund kids or something like that. You know, we'll both be continuing to work. And so, you know, that's one of the big things that's allowing me to do this. My members are like super huge, important to me. You guys make it possible for me to to have this lifestyle that I want to do. You know, I'm so grateful to each of you, and you know, the things that I'm able to offer you that you find value in, and that you're willing to join my membership and participate with me and all those good things. You know, it makes it possible for me to do the things that I want to do while I'm helping you get to do the things that you want to do. So it's really a win-win situation. It's fantastic, and I'm very grateful for that. My husband, you know, he's going to be, you know, getting into some remote work here soon. We're actively, you know, working on getting something arranged and set up, but the goal is in August. I have 3 workshops that I'm going to be doing in North Carolina, and we will leave Georgia in August, about mid-August, for me to go and do those workshops. And when those are done, the plan now is to actually head west. And so we're very excited about that. That's going to be, you know, our super really big time launch is in August. And so I'm excited about it. I can't wait to find all the places that we're going to paint. I'm in the process now of, you know, connecting with different people that are in different places in the country, you know, to get workshops going. I've, you know, made some connections in Kansas and North Carolina, British Columbia, California, just kind of off the top of my head. Those are a few places that I'm in the process of developing, you know, relationship, and we're working on establishing, you know, kind of a workshop schedule for some different places where we're traveling. So I'm looking forward to being able to have some in-person workshops, as well as continuing to do the online instruction as well. So I'm excited about it, super excited about it, and looking forward to, you know, to getting to do that. Let's see, I just have another question here. Caroline is asking, do you plan to tour the country, or do you plan to go specific destinations and live there for a while? A little of both. You know, we are definitely, you know, we definitely consider ourselves slow travelers. We're not going to just crisscross and dash around everywhere. We really want to go and, you know, visit some areas that we want to go. And, you know, when we go out to Montana and Utah, Montana and Idaho, you know, I mean, we plan to stay out there for, you know, at least 2 months and just kind of soak it in and enjoy and learn and meet people, you know, kind of absorb the culture, paint as many landscapes as I possibly can during that time. and before we move on to a different location. So it's kind of a combination of going places where we know we want to go, but also making connections with people where we might be able to, where I might be able to host a workshop, and just sort of, all of that kind of working together to sort of kind of determine what our path is going to be in terms of travel. And so I'm not concerned that there's there's not like this set itinerary for the next 12 months, and I am totally okay with that. I know that, I want to be back with my family at Christmas time, but outside of that, it's an open road, and so we'll just kind of see what happens. And one of the big things that we're trying to accomplish through all of this travel and moving around, not only just to enjoy it and have the experience, but we know that we want to settle down again at some point out there in the future. And my husband and I both have always lived in the South. My husband has traveled quite a bit just because of his experience in the Navy, but I really haven't traveled extensively at all. And so we feel like that all the moving around is going to help us kind of, inform our decision making about where we might want to settle down again in the future too. So that's, kind of part of it too as well. We're looking forward to that. Let's see. Hey Dee, welcome. So glad you're here. Ellen says, I imagine all the purging has been freeing. It has. It's been, like I said, we've been doing this since 2019, and I can remember we actually sold that big house in November of 2019, but in June of that year, it started in June of that year. I was making weekly trips to Goodwill and the county landfill and selling things on Facebook Marketplace, and the things were just flying out the door. And so we've been doing that for basically since June of 2019. We've been purging, and we are still purging. I showed you that that pile of, we got a few piles of things outside the bus that I have just had to pull it out of the bus just so that I can kind of go through it and either throw it away, make some kind of decision about it, because it's just all not going to go in here. And one of the things that we've agreed on, and this is just for us, is that we don't want everything stuffed and cluttered here, because one thing that we are learning is that getting rid of all this extra stuff, it carries not just physical weight, but it's mental and emotional weight too. And we have really become comfortable with this idea of having that kind of peace in our lives, with just getting rid of all the unnecessary objects in our lives. And and I think a lot of people that want to kind of adopt this lifestyle, I think that they would all agree, when asked, that they are willing to, just stop accumulating things and start accumulating experiences. And that's definitely, a mindset that we're adopting here at this stage in our lives. We've had a family and raised a family, and now we want to kind of just go back to that place of our youth where everybody's been 20 something, and you've got to figure out, what am I going to do with my life? And so we're just taking that opportunity to kind of start over again and do it with the wisdom that we've accumulated so far, and just kind of take a different trek on things. So let's see. Oh yeah, Big Sky Country, Montana. Yes, I'm looking so forward to seeing it. Christy Sheeler is in Montana. Wonderful, Christy. Welcome, and hope you have a great time. I know I will. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Can't wait to paint it. Karen says you should write a book about this one day. You never know. I might. I totally might do that. Let's see. Dee is asking, how are you going to record and paint from your bus? Thank you. Yes. So for all of my members that paint with me every week, this is talking about my paid members who paint with me every week, I will be painting right here, from the bus. And so I will either, depending on where we're at, over the summer, I am going to be kind of in a fixed location, but I still will have the opportunity to, we're going to have a vehicle. We still have one of our vehicles, because we're getting rid of our vehicles too. We're getting rid of everything. We're really getting rid of everything. But while we're in this fixed location, before we hit the road, we still have a vehicle so that my husband can commute back and forth to work at his physical job location. So, you know, I want to, you know, come up with some creative ways to go to some different locations and that type of thing, and, you know, expand beyond just painting from photos. We've been doing that a lot, and I'll continue to do some of that, but it's going to be fun to kind of paint on location too. So I'm really looking forward to adding that into the mix, and I think it's just going to be a lot of fun. So it'll just be something new and different all the time for my members. I want to keep it fresh and exciting for you, and it be something that you look forward to each week, and while you're still learning and growing and expanding and building your own skills and all that kind of stuff. And so for all the people that are here in this group, in the Exploring Abstracts group here, you know, this is some of my paid members are also in this group, obviously, but I do want to start, you know, sharing a few things, you know, each month here in this group too, just so that you can kind of stay in touch, that I can offer you some things. But I definitely, you know, I'm catering to my paid audience. You guys are awesome, and but I want to be able to share some things with you here, just so that you can, you know, so that you can learn and grow, and hopefully you'll see value in what, you know, in what I've got and what I'm doing, and maybe you will eventually decide to become a part of that paid community as well too. So because you guys are awesome, you guys are absolutely awesome. Let's see. So as far as and though in the second part of your question, D, recording it, you know, I'll be doing lives, and is anytime that I can do live, as long as I've got, you know, a good internet connection, I'll do lives. But if I'm in a remote area where the signal is just not good enough, then some of that's going to have to be pre-recorded type stuff. But we'll just kind of play that by ear as we go. Let's see, Cheryl. Cheryl is going to see me in August in North Carolina. Awesome. I'm so glad. Yeah, you're going to be in one of my workshops. That is fantastic. Donna is asking, how will you get mail? This is a great question. So I didn't even get into this, but I will just a little bit, and I can maybe do another video on this for those who are interested, because I'm going to do some more bus related stuff that I'll share like on my YouTube channel. But for the record, you know, we are Georgia residents, but now, as of last week, after we got back from our trip to Florida, we are Florida residents legally. So we went through a process called filing for domicile and residency, and it's a legal arrangement that is made available in 3 different states in the Union, Florida being one of those states, and we chose Florida since it's so close to Georgia. But we went down there. We've got insurance on our vehicle in Florida. We have registered our vehicle in Florida. We're registered to vote in Florida. We have a Florida driver's license. It's so crazy. We left Florida with a Florida driver's license. So we are Florida residents. And though we don't have a physical street address, we have an arrangement through a business that handles RV traveler mail, and it's sent there to their sort of, you know, their location there in Florida that we chose, and they will forward that mail to us wherever we want. They'll shred it for us if that's what we want, that type of thing. So that's where the mail is going. They're handling all of that. Let's see. Carolyn is saying, I haven't been, but I hear that the Center for Arts in Kayenta, I can't read the whole thing, my glasses are not that good. Red Rock Country in Utah. Okay, yeah, definitely, thank you. I will look that up. I know we're going to be hitting a lot of places, and I want to see the art that's there too, not just you know, not just painting, but I want to go see some other work too. Let's see, Joan is asking, do you paint when the bus is stationary or moving? Potholes. Excellent question. For right now, it's definitely going to be when the bus is stationary. There's lots and lots of road vibration when driving, and even I was trying to just write in a journal, and it was not happening. It was just not happening. And so I will use that time, when we're actually traveling. I still can do work. I can, go on the computer And as many of you know, I'm like, you know, I'm the IT person at my company, I'm the teacher at my company, I'm the chief financial officer at my company. I do all the things. And so I can update my website, I can check my emails, I can, you know, do typing and stuff on the computer, you know, that kind of thing. And so I'll spend time when we're driving, you know, doing that type of thing. But trying to draw or paint or write on the road wasn't working. It wasn't working. I knew there was going to be vibrations, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. If any of you have ever ridden the school bus, yeah, and trying to do like your homework on the school bus, yeah, it's just not, you're not going to be able to do it. I'm trying to think of anything else that I might want to share with you. I don't want to keep everybody all afternoon, but I've got, you know, different things that are going on for sure. I've got several workshops, you know, coming up in person. I've got workshops that exist now just on my website that you've got access to. Many of you have purchased several workshops here in the last couple of weeks, which has been absolutely wonderful. It just makes my day every time I see somebody purchase a workshop, knowing that, you know, not only is it helping me, but I know that you're getting some good quality content, and I'm hearing the reviews back from you that that it's helping you and helping you grow, and that's what it's all about. I want to make sure that you're getting good things that are helping you grow and get better as a painter. Let's see, Peggy is asking, let's see, oh yeah, Peggy, excellent advice, and we do actually have that informed delivery. The company that's handling our mail, they send us like scans of our mail so that we know exactly what's going on and that type of thing, and it is very handy so that you can know what in the world's going on. Elizabeth is asking, how do we find out about your in-person workshops? Right now I will be posting information like that online and on my website. For obvious reasons, I've been, you know, sort of doing, trying to do some updates and different things on the website because I'm the IT person too, but we've also been at a huge crunch time getting the bus finished, getting, you know, moving, you know, all this transition. So I've not been able to do a whole lot of updates, but that stuff is going to start happening. I'm going to start having some bandwidth, you know, just physically, mentally, emotionally, where I can start working on all that stuff again, getting that information out to you. The ones that are definitely in position right now are the 3 workshops that I have in August in North Carolina. I can post some information about that. The others that are in the other places I mentioned in Kansas and California, those are all looking like, you know, looking to be on the schedule for 2023. And you know, as those things finalize and we've got actual dates, I'll get that information to you. That stuff's going to start coming out, and hopefully, you know, as we're traveling, as I'm continuing to connect with more people, you know, and art groups and organizations and people, you know, I'm going to have other dates, you know, coming up that I don't even know about right now, you know, at the time of this filming. So let's see. Let me make sure my little question thing goes up so fast that I miss it. Yeah, it's true, Donna. I would have thought that road vibrations would have encouraged loose painting. Yeah, it definitely encourages it. It kind of overwhelms and takes over the painting. So I don't mind having the watercolor move around, but when the board and my palette and the water bowl is tipping over, then we're out of control at that point for sure. Let's see, Mary is saying hello Mary. You live on Lake Michigan. Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous, I know, in a beautiful town called St. Joseph. So glad that you've got beautiful things around you to paint. It makes such a difference. It really, really does. I'm excited for you. Thanks for connecting with me. I'm glad you're here. Awesome. Let's see, Nancy's here. Mary Lou is here. Yeah, Mary Lou, absolutely. It is an incredible journey. Can't wait to hear how it's going to go, how things are going a year from now. Absolutely. It's just, oh my gosh, I don't know that I've got really enough words to describe what it has been like over the past, you know, couple of years. I will post a video link, you know, here with this video when I'm done, but it gives you a link to kind of go watch a video that sort of describes how this even started. How did we even, when we got the bus and all that kind of stuff. You know, we've been working on this transition for a long time, and so for people who either don't know us or haven't caught up with us in a while, it may seem like, wow, y'all just decided to do this all of a sudden, but really it's been happening. You know, we've been working on this transition, you know, for since the summer of 2019, so it's been kind of an ongoing process, and we're still just kind of, you know, feeling our way through it and understanding better what we want to do, and being very intentional about understanding what we want and just really trying to make sure that that happens, because we all know that if you're not careful, you'll just live out your days and all of a sudden they're over, and maybe you didn't get to do some of the things that you had thought you would do or that you had talked about doing. And so we're just trying to be very intentional about not missing out on those opportunities. Let me look real quick. I think I had a couple of questions. Let's see. Peggy is saying, yeah, you might want to have a backup crew to make simple edits. Oh, I would love it. Listen, one of these days, you know, when I grow up, I'm gonna have a personal assistant. Yeah, when I'm big enough, and when my paychecks can afford that, that's definitely on my list of things to do. Absolutely. Ralph is saying, this has been a most interesting afternoon learning experience. Will you be recording your in-person workshops? That's a fantastic question, Ralph. I know that for the ones that I'm doing in North Carolina, I know that that's not going to be possible because it's not my own workshop that what am I trying to say? I'm doing that workshop on behalf of another agency in North Carolina. It's their event. It's sort of an annual event that they do, that they host and they put on, and so it's really their sort of conference, an art instruction conference, and so I really wouldn't be able to to do that, but there may be other opportunities, depending on that all kind of happens in the arrangements with the people that you're working with, as to who can have access to the content and that type of thing. So with so much digital content going out, I feel like with some of the art groups, I'm going to be able to do that, to be able to offer paid versions of the on-site courses that can be picked up online after the fact. So again, that's just one of those negotiation things that I'll have to kind of go through when I'm working with folks. So I'm hopeful that I can, because that definitely makes it available to many more people, and that's kind of the whole point, is to make sure that as many people as possible can participate. Let's see, I'm just looking through to make sure I don't have any more questions. I think that might be it for now. I don't want to take up everybody's afternoon, but thank you guys so much for joining me. Just another quick little spin around the room here. We are learning so much about ourselves, about this process, about what's really important to us as people, and what we want our lives to look like. And we have just kind of been talking a lot about this whole bus experience, and knowing that this bus is almost going to serve as like a little cocoon, like a chrysalis for us as individuals over the next many months, where we are going to evolve and learn and grow and change and become different versions of ourselves. And I'm looking forward, just like Mary Lou said, to see how we emerge in another year, what we're going to be doing and what things are going to be like at that point. So we're in it for the long haul. We've invested a lot of time and effort and blood, sweat, and tears, all that kind of stuff, to make this happen. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I know good things are going to happen, and we're going to have challenges. We've already had some, but we're overcoming those, and it has not deterred our thoughts and feelings about this whole decision. We feel very dedicated, very solid, and knowing that this is direction for us at this time in our lives, and I look forward to sharing it with you. So anyway, thanks so much everybody for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you have questions, or if you're watching this in replay, don't hesitate to post a question, that type of thing. If you've got questions about the instructional offers that I have going right now, or if you want to paint with me every week, that type of thing, definitely don't hesitate to ask me about that. I can give you all the information you need, and feel free to browse through the group if you're new here. There are some videos in the video section where you can kind of go through some tutorials that I have already that I have posted here, and you can also go check out my YouTube channel. I've got some instructional things there, and I think that's it for now. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I'm encouraged that you're here and that you're interested in our journey, and hopefully our paths will cross and we can grow together, and I think it's just going to be fantastic. So anyway, I'll take off for this afternoon, and I'll talk to you guys really soon and give you some updates on some things that I'm going to be sharing here in this group as well. So thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.